Hey everyone. All right. So as we kind of wrap up our overview of these five different competitive strategy options that we discussed, right? Our broad and narrow low cost providers, our broad and our narrow differentiation strategies, and then right there in the middle, we saved it for last here today, talking about the best cost provider strategy. So at this point, we're just going to clarify a little bit what that's about, differentiate it a little bit from just the low cost provider, discuss why it's different, and then that'll be all for our model so far. So let's go ahead and jump into discussing about the best cost provider, right? So the essence of what we want you to take away from this is the best cost provider strategy is going to give our customers more value for their money. It is still definitely about some essence of low cost, but it is also about some essence of differentiation. Okay. So we're going to try to give people, as best cost providers, we're going to try to give people the most value for their money in that sense. So we're going to try to, of course, try to satisfy our buyer desires. Our buyer desires might be they want appealing features, they want high performance, good quality, good service, some of these kinds of things. We're going to try to offer those kinds of things as a best cost provider, but we're also going to be focused on charging a lower price for those attributes than our rivals do. All right. So if we're going to profitably employ a best cost provider strategy, we have to incorporate really attractive upscale type attributes or services, but we got to offer them at a lower cost. Sounds easier than it probably is, right? Or maybe you're sitting here and realizing that that does sound like kind of a hefty undertaking, because it is, right? We're trying to deliver superior value at a low price. These are usually two things that don't necessarily, like nicely parallel one another. So a best cost provider, if we're going to be one of those, our competitive advantage is really going to come from just being able to find a way to do that at all, because very few firms are able to do that kind of thing. The low cost advantage that we will have by saying we're going to offer these upscale things, but we're going to offer them at the lowest price amongst all of our rivals. That low cost advantage is going to let us, underprice our rivals, and we're still going to earn hopefully attractive profits. At the end of the day, we just don't want to undercut it to the point where we don't make our profits anymore. Not going to make very much business sense for us, right? So we want to provide, some sort of price discount, but we don't want to squeeze that profit margin completely out of it. And you can understand after we're talking about this why that's a difficult thing to do. One company that comes to mind that does this really well is Amazon. Does it extremely well, but you can imagine that that's not just a really casual undertaking for one of us to build the next Amazon, right? But they really do a great job at providing appealing extras, quality elements, great service, and all of it at that low price that we all kind of come to expect from, buying things from the Amazon platform, right? So we really want to differentiate here what the difference between a best cost and a low cost are, just in case it hasn't clicked for you just yet. Just understanding that with a best cost provider, we are going to focus on this upscale product attributes, right? We are trying to still offer upscale attributes, services, products, things like that, whereas our low cost targets, those were people that are going to be looking just for a basic product at a bargain price. It is just all about price. Our best cost targets are people who are value conscious, but still trying to look for a valuable product at a cheap price, right? So they're not looking for the bottom of the barrel product in that sense. They're looking for still something of at least considerable like quality and value, like an upscale type product, but they want it for the cheapest possible price. So our best cost, the big way that we differentiate it from those low cost provider strategies is best cost. We just try to adjust fluidly and more fluidly than our low cost strategists, right? This is a middle ground we can kind of find where we're still offering something of value, but we're not offering it at a really high price. That is the big difference, is the quality of the product is taken into consideration when we look at best cost strategies, because our best cost is how do we offer those better quality items at the best rate, not necessarily just offering something to get the job done at the lowest possible cost.